I want to go to sleep as soon as possible.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm quite enjoying the evenings.
Right.
Get home.
From a personal perspective, this is something I've dreamed of my entire life. I hope people know their dreams are possible because mine came true, even when I never thought they would. I'm deeply moved by that, and I hope that's what they take away. You should be very proud of yourself. Thank you so much. Truly thank you. I'll even send you a t-shirt. Please do. Now, you've said before that your version of Snow White is different, more of a 2022 version.
What did you mean by that?
Well, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and it clearly shows. There is such a strong focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Weird, right?
So we didn't do that this time. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not dreaming of true love. Instead, she dreams of becoming the leader she knows she can be. The leader her late father told her she could be if she was fearless, fair, and brave. But now, her career seems to be collapsing in real time. And the cost to watch it all happen? Nothing. Her Broadway show has dropped to pay what you want. Her movie hasn't even been released yet, but is already drawing hate, and Hollywood seems to be acting like they don't even know who she is anymore. Disney projects are failing. Rumors say Lilo and Stitch made more money than Snow White. The planned remake of Tangled was cancelled, and countless other decisions reflect the fallout. So, what did Rachel do next? She tried to change direction, start over on stage, and prove she still had talent. She landed the lead role in Jamie Lloyd's Evita at the London Palladium, a legendary theater, a famous show, and a role once played by icons like Patti LuPone and Madonna. But behind the scenes, things spiraled. Each termination and separation in her career followed a blunt call Rachel made herself. No sugarcoating, no games. One insider says she told her manager, "You had one job, protect me. Instead, you let me walk into a war zone blind." This wasn't just about Evita. It was years of doing what she was told, playing the industry game, and smiling when she wanted to scream. Now, she's flipping the table, cutting strings, ditching scripts, and rebuilding her way. Friends say she's in take-back control mode, even overheard saying, "I don't trust anyone who profits off my chaos." But Hollywood doesn't see it that way. To them, it looks like a breakdown disguised as rebellion. Then, last week in London, something strange happened that suggests we're only hearing half the story. Rachel was performing in Evita, everything seemed fine, until she abruptly vanished during the show and never returned. The theater claims illness, but fans notice something very different. Behind-the-scenes videos and posts tell another story. Staff disputes, panic episodes, and a collapse that has people wondering if this was Rachel's last moment on stage. Picture it. London's West End, July 24th, 2025, at the Palladium. Rachel Zegler as Eva Perón. The comeback she desperately needed to prove she was more than Disney's biggest mistake. But she couldn't even finish her own performance. This wasn't a missed line or a cough, it was a total breakdown. The audience sat for an hour in confusion, not knowing what was happening. And it all points back to the same issue. The Snow White scandal still haunts her, and the fear that once fueled her drive may now be destroying the success she fought so hard to achieve. So stay put, because things are about to get crazy. For those of you who've been living under a rock, let me catch you up before diving into the drama. The actress chosen by Disney to play Snow White in a live-action adaptation was Rachel Zegler. At first glance, that sounds exciting, except it wasn't. The internet exploded after her comments about the original Snow White film. She called it outdated, dismissing its storyline and making what many labeled woke, remarks that sparked outrage across generations, from grandmothers to Twitter trolls. Boycotts, threats, and viral backlash followed. The Snow White remake was so poorly received that theaters were practically empty, and viral TikToks showed Rachel watching her own movie alone. Overnight, she transformed from a Disney princess into one of the most criticized figures in pop culture. The pressure and hostility took a toll on her mental health, and even her own team admitted she was struggling to cope with the fallout. She sought therapy, but the damage was done. When her movie career stalled, Rachel turned to theater, a classic move to reset her image and prove she could still perform. But what happened next shocked everyone. On July 24th, 2025, at the London Palladium, she opened the production of Evita as Eva Perón. The first act went smoothly, her performance was strong, the audience was engaged, and everything seemed to be back on track. But then came intermission. Normally a 15 to 20-minute break, this one stretched into 40, then 45 minutes. Confusion spread through the crowd until finally an announcement was made. Rachel would not be returning for the second act. No explanation, just gone. Here's where it gets strange. Earlier that same night, footage showed Rachel looking calm, confident, and ready to perform. She appeared completely fine. So, what happened between that moment and her sudden collapse? Audience members were left bewildered. People had paid good money to see Rachel, and suddenly she vanished, leaving the theater scrambling. The understudy, Bella Brown, who had played Perón's mistress earlier in the night, was rushed on stage during intermission. Without warning, she was forced to step into the spotlight and open Act 2 with the show's most famous number, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, performing from the balcony in front of hundreds of confused theatergoers still whispering about Rachel's disappearance. The official statement claimed Rachel had fallen ill, but fans weren't convinced. Rumors quickly spread online that she had clashed with crew members backstage, leading to an emotional breakdown. Tweets and posts circulated in real time, describing heated disputes, panic attacks, and a backstage meltdown. While unverified, the consistency of these accounts suggested there was more truth than fiction. And it made sense. After enduring the relentless backlash from Snow White, any additional stress could have been the breaking point. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. I found 2 interviews that show just how much Rachel has changed since the scandal. In one clip promoting Evita, her tone is strikingly cautious. She says, "From a personal perspective, this is something I've dreamed of my entire life. And I hope people know that their dreams are possible because mine are, even though I never thought they would be. I'm deeply, deeply moved by it, and I hope that's what they take away." When the interviewer compliments her, she responds quietly, "Thank you so much.
Truly, thank you.
I'll send you a t-shirt." Her words are careful, deliberate, almost fearful of saying the wrong thing. It's a stark contrast to her outspoken confidence during the Snow White press tour. The shift is obvious. Rachel Zegler, once bold and unfiltered, now seems hesitant, guarded, and weighed down by the backlash that turned her into a meme. The question is no longer just about her career. It's whether she can survive the storm she helped create.
No, I feel like it was like that for a lot of us. It's easier for me than it was for Tom because I wasn't playing a character that had already...
So stay put because things are about to get wild. For anyone who missed the beginning of this story, let me catch you up. Disney cast Rachel Zegler as Snow White in their live-action remake. At first, that sounded like a dream role, but things quickly soured. Rachel made headlines with her blunt remarks about the original 1937 classic, calling it outdated and questioning why a princess would fall in love with a man who, in her words, literally stalks her. Those comments went viral, sparking outrage across generations and platforms. Boycotts followed, theaters emptied, and viral TikToks even mocked Rachel by showing her watching her own film alone. Practically overnight, she went from Disney princess to internet villain, her reputation tanking under the weight of public backlash. The hostility took a toll on her mental health, with her own team admitting she was struggling to cope and seeking therapy. When Hollywood began to turn its back, Rachel made the bold decision to return to theater. It was a smart move. On stage, she could remind audiences of her raw talent, reset her career, and prove she was more than just one controversial film. She took on the legendary role of Eva Perón in Jamie Lloyd's production of Evita at the London Palladium. At first, it worked. The reviews were glowing, the tickets were selling, and big names in the industry were paying attention. It looked like Rachel was finally winning again. But then came the night of July 24th, 2025. Rachel opened strong, delivering a confident first act that had the crowd engaged and hopeful. But when intermission came, something fell off. A normal break lasts 15 to 20 minutes. This one dragged on for 40, then nearly an hour. Confusion rippled through the theater until an announcement was made. Rachel would not be returning for the second act. No explanation, just gone. The understudy, Bella Brown, was rushed on stage mid-show and had to carry the weight of the musical's most iconic song, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, in front of hundreds of baffled audience members still whispering about Rachel's sudden disappearance. The official excuse? Illness. But fans weren't convinced. Real-time tweets and posts suggested she had clashed with crew members backstage, suffering a breakdown fueled by the unresolved stress of the Snow White disaster. While no one from the theater has confirmed the rumors, the consistency of those accounts makes it hard to dismiss. For someone already carrying so much public scrutiny, even the smallest spark could have set off the collapse. And here's where things get fascinating. If you compare her interviews before and after the Snow White scandal, the change in her demeanor is striking. In the Evita press circuit, Rachel spoke carefully and deliberately, almost afraid of saying the wrong thing. From a personal perspective, this is something I've dreamed of my entire life. I hope people know their dreams are possible because mine are, even though I never thought they would be. I'm deeply, deeply moved. Her tone was cautious, measured, and guarded. Contrast that with her earlier Snow White comments, where she openly mocked the original storyline as weird and confidently declared that her version was different, modernized, and focused on leadership instead of love. Back then, she was outspoken and self-assured. Now, she looks like someone who has been burned by the spotlight and is terrified of repeating the same mistake. The shift hasn't gone unnoticed. Experts in body language would have a field day analyzing how someone so bold has become so defensive in such a short time. Psychological strain doesn't disappear overnight. It builds until something breaks. And for Rachel, that breaking point seems to have come under the bright lights of the Palladium stage. But here's the complication. Rachel isn't alone. She has powerful allies. Hollywood heavyweight Pedro Pascal has been spotted at her shows, cheering her on, and even giving her standing ovations. Rachel herself admitted, "He goes to bat for me in a way that I love so dearly." Fans, too, have shown unwavering support. Before one performance, she received a custom-made doll, proof that people still want to see her succeed. Even rising music star Pink Pantheress admitted she follows Rachel's fan pages and considers her one of her favorite actors right now. And director Jamie Lloyd has hinted at moving Evita to Broadway, a massive opportunity that could redefine her career. So here's the contradiction. Rachel is selling out shows, earning rave reviews, drawing celebrity praise, and inspiring fan devotion. And yet, at the very same time, she's struggling with anxiety so severe she can't finish her performances. It's like watching someone succeed and unravel simultaneously. On paper, she's winning. In reality, she might be losing the battle with herself. And that's what makes this story so heartbreaking. Rachel is proving she was more than just one flop and a few controversial remarks. She was taking back her career, building momentum, and earning back respect. But then came that mid-performance replacement, and suddenly, we're asking the same haunting question that's followed her since the Snow White debacle. Is Rachel Zegler's career already over? The truth is, the theater has stayed unusually quiet about whether her disappearance was a temporary setback or something more permanent. That silence only fuels speculation. But the bigger issue here isn't one night at the Palladium. It's whether Rachel can survive the weight of public humiliation and relentless criticism. Outwardly, she has support, applause, and opportunity. Inwardly, the damage may take years to heal, if Hollywood even gives her the chance.
So, what do you think?
Can Rachel Zegler recover from this scandal, or has the backlash already written her ending? Personally, I'm conflicted. I feel sympathy because no one deserves the level of vitriol she endured over a few comments. But I also wonder if she's simply not built for this degree of pressure. I want to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because I'll keep you updated on whether Rachel was permanently dismissed from Evita or if this was just a temporary storm. This story is messy, complicated, and honestly a little frightening to watch unfold. It's not just about one actress. It's about how quickly the industry and the internet can build someone up, tear them down, and leave them to pick up the pieces in real time. And that, for better or worse, is show business.